So we'll do this topic of binomial distribution first, and then we'll do geometric distribution. So binomial distribution, probably you can see these certain questions are there, which you are supposed to know the answer. I'll discuss this question first, and then we'll start the chapter. Mainly, you need to understand that whenever we talk about a binomial distribution, or we talk about geometric distribution, or we talk about Poisson distribution, these are mainly based on random experiment. The concept on probability you must be aware about to understand the logic of binomial distribution. There is a concept based on binomial distribution, which is also called as binomial trials or Bernoulli trials. So there's a mathematician, his name was James Bernoulli. He discussed all this, and we are studying what all he has discussed in this. So probably whenever we talk about binomial distribution, in the case of binomial distribution, we are talking about a random experiment where the number of trials, what we do, there are definite number of trials we are performing. Fine. So we are trying to perform trials. Trials, you would be wondering, what do you mean by trial? Trial mainly means experiment. So we are performing in a set of experiment, and the experiment what we are performing, that should be limited in nature. It cannot be infinite number of experiments. So you would be wondering, what can be the example of infinite number of experiment? It can be an example where maybe there's a busy road, and where like probably vehicles and persons are going from all the possible direction. If I ask you what is the probability that a two-wheeler hit a buffalo in that particular junction at 2 p.m., something like that. So you can understand that example, what I was talking about there, the number of possibilities were infinite possibilities were there. And then the scenario, what I was talking about, that was very limited. So such kind of scenarios are mainly the example of infinite kind of trials. Okay, but when we talk about binomial distribution, in the case of binomial distribution, we are talking about a trial where the number of trials should be definite. Okay, and whenever we are working on this trial means experiment. So every experiment, or whatever each trial what we talk about, so each trial will result into two outcome. Each trial will result into two outcome. Okay, every time when we perform the trial, we'll get two outcome. So either we'll get a success, or we'll get a failure. So here in the case of binomial distribution or Bernoulli distribution, what we study is called binomial theorem. Here we'll not talk about third possibility. Whatever we are talking about, we are talking about everything what we do, it have two possibilities. Either you get a success, or either you get a failure. So the probability that you get a success will represent with the symbol P, and the probability that you get a failure we represent with the symbol Q, where we should know that probability of success plus failure, that is equal to 1. So the sum total of success, probability to get success, and the probability to get failure, that probability is equal to 1. So if I'm saying that probability to get success is 0.6, so automatically the probability to get failure would be 0.4. So I hope you understand. Going further, when we work on binomial distribution, the third thing you need to understand, whenever we talk about binomial distribution, it is biparametric distribution. When we say binomial distribution, it is biparametric distribution. So because it is a biparametric distribution, so here we'll talk about two components. One is n, another one is p. So whatever questions you will see in binomial distribution chapter henceforward, which we'll discuss, for every question you'll see like this. If you noticed x, like b, if you noticed, it is written
Amrita,
like
yeah, I'm joining from laptop. Let me in.
Yeah, now you can see Anvi. So Afrin, I hope both you can see this. So like you can see this.
Yes, Bhaiya.
So this b 3 comma p. So here 3 is your n, p is your probability to get success. Every time, no, when we try to solve the question, every time when we are trying to solve question, so you'll see these two things being given. So imagine if
What's n again? N is number of trials.
n means number of trials.
Ji, theek.
So whenever we talk about binomial distribution, no, you cannot solve the binomial distribution without n, because n is definite. It cannot be infinite. So whenever you see the question, the first thing you need to see what is n. Next thing you need to see what is p. So if you know what is p, automatically you'll get what is q. If you know what is p, automatically you know what is q. Like here, if you see this example 7.2, your n is 8, your p is 0.7, automatically your q will be 0.3. You're getting me, right?
Could you repeat it? No, I didn't get it.
Dhanvi, Afrin,
So like to, should I
Wait.
tell?
Yeah,
See,
tell me.
so if you want to 0.7 is P, okay. So to find Q, you have to do 1 minus 0.7. So and then
Oh,
you
so
get
that's
0.7.
it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
here,
Oh,
what you
acha.
need to understand, for this question, that your n is given as 8 and your p is 0.7. So automatically your q will be 0.3. Clear? And
Oh,
then
yeah. Q plus P is equals to 1, right? So
yeah,
इसीलिए
yeah,
उससे minus
yeah,
अच्छा ठीक.
correct. So agar if you are seeing the question like this, you need to understand these are biparametric distribution, because they are biparametric distribution. So if you see something like this, so what you need to understand, that whenever you see the question, you need to see the two things. You need to see what is your n, what is p. So your n is 8 and your p is 0.7. So if your p is 0.7, automatically your q will be 1 minus 0.7. Your q will be 0.3. Once you get p value, once you get q value, once you get n value, imagine if your question is find the probability of x greater than 6. Okay, so if I'm asking you find the probability where x is greater than 6, so what you need to know one thing here, that here your n is 8, you need to know that probability to get 0, x as 0, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, like this till n8, because your n is 8, that is equal to 1. Can you understand this? You need to always aware about this, because here your n is 8, right? Your n is 8. What is p? Maybe I just telling you randomly, I'm saying maybe the p is the success of something. So I'm asking what is the scenario where you get the x value greater than 6. So when you're saying the x value greater than 6, before we find the x value greater than 6, you should know probability of 0 to probability of 8, getting 8, that will be equal to 1. So once you understood what I want greater than 6. Greater than 6 means I want probability to get 7 plus probability to get 8. So that will be nothing but 1 minus probability to get 0 plus 1 plus 2 till what? Till 6. So you'll get the complete data. Afrin, have you understood this?
Yeah, but why is it just probability of 7 and 8? Why can't it be 9 and 10?
Because Afrin, the n is 8 na, Afrin beta.
Oh,
N,
yeah.
yeah,
N is 8.
8. N is 8. So you can't take a probability more than 8. The
8,
total
yes.
set of data is 8. So here they're telling more than 6. So only two scenarios are left. Probability of 7 and probability of 8. So probability of 7 plus 8 is equal to 1 minus probability from 0 to 6. Hanvi, have you understood?
Yes.
Clear, na? So how to solve this and all we'll do later on. That is next thing. How to solve we'll do later on. First, for the time being, you should understand. So any question if you get like this, any question if you are getting like this, you just need to understand that part. Here, if you see this example 7.3, if you here it is written in a particular country, 85% of the population have R plus blood. Okay, find the probability that fewer than 39 people in a random sample of 40 have a rhesus positive blood, so Rh positive. So here, when you see this, I'll ask Dhanvi later on what is Rh factor. Dhanvi, I hope you still remember biology.
I remember.
So here it is written in a particular population, 85% of population have R plus positive blood. So it means here the probability to get success will be how much? 0.85. Afrin, are you getting this?
Ji bhaiya, I got this.
Then your Q value would be what? 1 minus 0.85. So Q will be 0.15. Okay. Now what they're asking now, they're asking find the probability that fear matlab lesser than 39 people out of 40 people have R positive blood. So you need to know one thing. Whenever you get N, what is N? N you know 40. N you know 40. So you should know probability of 0 plus 1 plus 2 till 40, till 40 that will be equal to 1. Clear na? Because N is 40, you'll start from 0 to 40, the probability will be equal to 1. They're asking less than 39. Less than 39 means they're asking you 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 till 38 they're asking you. Fewer than 39 matlab 39 se kam value. Which values are lesser than 39? That is nothing but 1 minus probability of 39 plus probability of 40. Can you understand? Either you calculate this much, either if you have lot of time of the world, you can calculate this. Anyway, weekend is going on, you can sit and calculate this, or you just do this calculation. How to do this calculation, we'll learn later on. But for the time being, what we need to understand, for the time being, we need to understand in a binomial distribution. Binomial distribution is a biparametric distribution where whenever you're solving the question, they'll give you some question where they'll give you data like this, where n means the total number of whatever the trials are there, p is the probability of success. Automatically, you'll get the q, where q is the probability to get a failure. Once you understand these two parts, you can easily solve the question. So while talking about binomial distribution, remember one thing, although I did not find that written, but you, for the time being, you remember the formula of mean and the formula of variance. That I have not found in your book, but being a statistic teacher, I know this. So I'm telling you, remember this. In the case of binomial distribution, the formula of mean is n into p. The formula of variance is n into p into q. If the formula of variance is n into p into q, then you can find the formula of standard deviation. Standard deviation is nothing but it's the square root of variance. So the formula of standard deviation will be under root of npq. ये याद रखो आप लोग. It may be helpful for you. Fine. So I did not find any direct question based on these formulas, but for the time being, you should remember. The fourth one, mode formula, also you can remember, integral value of n plus 1 into p. We'll take the integral part. Imagine if you get a mode of 3.14, so your mode would be 3. You only take the integral part, integer part. Decimal part you will not take. Here, can I go ahead? This much you have understood? Afrin, Dhanvi, समझ में आ गया आप लोग?
What about the fourth वाला कौन सी
फोर्थ वाला
किस
मोड
चीज के
बोलते
लिए
हैं
है
इसको. मोड.
वापस
मोड
फोर्थ वाला फॉर्मूला निकाला है.
n plus 1 into p, ये मोड का फॉर्मूला आपने पढ़ा होगा मेजर ऑफ सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी में.
हाँ मोड
मीन
पर
मीडियन मोड.
स्टैट्स में. हाँ अच्छा ठीक ठीक.
So in case if you're not aware, I just do a quick revision. Mainly we study mean median mode when we talk about normal distribution. After we finish this chapter, the next chapter what we have to study is normal distribution. Normal distribution is a continuous distribution pattern. When we are talking about binomial distribution and all, it is a discrete distribution pattern. So whenever we study normal distribution, what we'll study, or you might have studied probably in the past, when we talk about normal distribution, in the case of normal distribution, you will get this bell-shaped curve. This is called normal distribution curve. This is also called Gaussian distribution curve. In this distribution curve, what we do, we find the tendency of the data to lie at the center. That property of data to lie at the center is called measure of central tendency. Measure of central tendency. Tendency of the data to aggregate around center. So this is this theory we study in physics also. We study anything and everywhere, that anything around the world is want to get stabilized. second law of thermodynamics, first law of motion, Newton first law of motion. A body at rest will continue to at rest. A body in motion will continue to in motion. Second law of thermodynamics, that anything and everything want to reduce entropy. So we want stability. So when we want stability, so if you allow particles to aggregate how they want to aggregate, they'll try to assemble maximum data at one point. That property of data where your data assemble at one point, that is called measure of central tendency. Under the measure of central tendency, we study mean, median, mode. Mean is of three types: arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean. Median and mode. Three types of mean are there: arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean. Then you have median, you have mode. What is mode? Mode means the data which repeat the maximum number of times. So whenever we have a set of data, out of those set of data which data repeat the maximum number of time, that is called mode. When you have a set of data, if you arrange the data in ascending order, then the middlemost value is the median. And when you just try to find the average value of the data, where you sum all the data, you do the summation of the data divided by the number of data, what we get we'll call is a mean. Mean is of three types: arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and harmonic mean. In general sense, we always use arithmetic mean as a mean. I hope you understood this. While variance and standard deviation will use for dispersion, because not all the data will be at center. Measure of central tendency talks about how your data aggregate at the center. Now, not all the data will be at center. Data may be dispersed away from the center. So maybe if the data are dispersing away from the center, so the property which talks about how your data is dispersing from the center, that is called measure of dispersion. There we study range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation, variance. So this variance, what you're studying, no, the symbol of the variance is sigma, sigma square. The symbol of standard deviation is sigma, where variance is the square of standard deviation. These things I believe you have studied, right? Dhanvi, Afreen, you people have studied about them, right? Measure of central tendency before.
Yes.
Okay. So this, Afreen, this is the formula of mode n plus 1 into p. You know what is n, what is p. So here for this question only, your n was 40 and your p is 0.85. So your mode of the data will be n plus 1 into p. So your mode will be 40 plus 1, 41 into 0.85. So that will be the value of mode, integer value of this. So for 85 into 41 will be 85, and this will be what, 340, right? This will be 340. So this will be 340. This will be integer value of this would be 34.85. So your 34 is your mode. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I hope you understood this. So this formula are not, I have not found in the book. Maybe they would be there, but for the time being, you just know that you should be aware about.
मोड का नहीं है, बाकी तीनों है.
मोड का नहीं, बाकी है ना, ठीक है.
हाँ.
कौन से fourth chapter में या sixth chapter में?
No, इसी chapter में. I'm talking about binomial distribution.
Binomial distribution.
इसी में?
Yeah, page 173.
अच्छा, thank you.
Fine. So you'll find this. This is page number 180. ठीक है. You'll study about them. Now coming back to this, for solving the questions of this chapter, we don't require much, but you must be aware about them. Now coming to the binomial distribution, the formula of binomial distribution is NCR P to the power R Q to the power N minus R. So all the questions of binomial distribution will solve by using this formula. NCR P to the power R Q to the power N minus R, where P is the probability of success, Q is the probability of failure, and you know the formula P plus Q equal to 1. What is the formula of NCR? NCR formula is N factorial by R factorial into n minus r factorial. You have studied PNC, permutation combination. So if you are aware about PNC, solving them, it would be very easy.
No, you don't know PNC, right?
No, bro, I don't know. I haven't done that.
उसको नहीं पता, वो जब हो रहा था ना, she wasn't there.
अच्छा ठीक है, while solving the question ना
अभी भैया चैप्टर मालूम है मुझे, प्रोबेबिलिटी करा थोड़ा मैंने अपने खुद, पर चैप्टर 5 से लेके अब तक ज्यादा कुछ नहीं पढ़ा मैंने उसमें, तो वही अभी आधा टॉपिक क्लियर नहीं है मेरे को.
कोई बात नहीं. While when we'll solve the question now, we'll understand automatically. I'll give you few example of that. Some random example, like maybe 14C5. How to do 14C5? So 14C5, if you see this formula of NCR, so यहाँ पे n will be 14 and r will be equal to 5. ठीक है, अब NCR होता क्या है, वो सब चीज हम लोग जब PNC करेंगे तब उस समय वहां ध्यान देंगे. Now we'll only focus on calculation part. We'll try to understand how we can able to do this calculation. That would be my focus. So 14C5 means.
अच्छा, ये NCR वाला फॉर्मूला पास्कल के ट्रायंगल में मांगते हैं क्या? प्योर मैथ में?
यस,
हाँ, वही वाला चीज है क्या, जिसमें जो कौन से रो में कौन सा नंबर है, कौन से एक्सपोनेंट का निकालना है कोएफिशिएंट, वो सब वाला है क्या?
हाँ, ऑल दैट PNC का मतलब we use everywhere, probability में, statistics, everywhere we use this. So PNC का मतलब क्या होता है? 14C5 का मतलब कि मान लो मेरे पास 14 biscuits हैं and I have to eat 5 biscuits. So in how many ways can I eat? Where you follow random experiment. You don't use your brain before deciding. You don't decide randomly. I have 14 cricket players and out of that I have to choose 5 cricket players. So randomly, how will I choose? So 14C5, if I have to calculate, your n is 14, your r is 5. So 14C5 calculation is 14 factorial divided by 5 factorial, means r is 5, into 14 minus 5 factorial. So when you say 14C5, so you can write this as 14 factorial by 5 factorial. 14 minus 5 is 9 factorial. So now how to solve this further? You can see this 14 factorial means 14 into 13 into 12 into 11 into 10 into 9 factorial divide by 9 factorial into 5 factorial. I can write as 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Yeah, you must be aware about whenever we talk about n factorial मतलब होता है n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3. You'll multiply till you'll get 1. So like that way, 14 factorial, I can write as 14 into 13 into 12 into 11 into 10 into 9 factorial. Why you did not go further from 9 factorial? Because already in denominator this 9 factorial is there. I can cancel it. So 5 into 2, 10, I can cancel this. 4 into 3, 12, I can cancel this. So when you see this 14C5, so you can find 14 into 13 into 11. Rest everything got cancelled. 14 into 13, if I'm not wrong, is 182 into 11. 182 into 11 will be what? That will be 2029. Sorry, 19110, then 1012. Correct me if I'm wrong. 182, 182, 2, 8, 9, 10. 2, 8, 9, 1002. Correct?
2002. Yes.
2002. So you'll get this value. So this is 14C5 value. So we'll use this while solving the question. Okay. So generally when we see binomial distribution problem and all, so we'll see how we can use them. Like probably let me do some basic question like this only. This was the problem which we were doing before. So if you see this problem, here your n is 8, your n is 8, your p is 0.7, your n is 8, your P is 0.7. So automatically your Q will be 0.3. 1 minute. So you see this N is 8, P is 0.7, Q is 0.3. Okay, now what the question is P, I have to find the probability where X is greater than 6. I have to find the probability where X is greater than 6. So what I need to do, I need to find P7 plus P8. Clear, guys? I need to find this value, P7 plus P8. These are no scenario where P is greater than 6. Are you getting it? So P7, P8, how will I do? P7, how will I do? NCR, P to the power R, Q to the power N minus R. So how will I get P7? P7, N is 8, NC7, 0.7 to the power 7 into 0.3 to the power 8 minus 7. आफरीन आपको आ रहा है समझ में?
आ रहा वो फॉर्मूला पता चल गया तो अब उससे आसानी हो रहा है.
हाँ, तो P7 इज इक्वल टू, अब ये चीज याद रखना आप लोग, धानवी आफरीन आप लोग, 8C7 इज इक्वल टू 8C1. 8C1 is equal to 8. Please remember this. NCR is equal to NCN minus R. अगर आपको कैलकुलेट करना है, there's no problem with that. You can calculate 8C7. That would be 8 factorial by 7 factorial. 8 minus 7, 1 factorial. If you'll solve, you'll get 8 only. With practice, you people will understand this 8C7 is equal to 8C1. Because in maths, there's a formula which was supposed to be studied in PNC, that NCR is equal to NCN minus R. So this is equal to 8. अब calculator को use करो and you can find 0.7 to the power 7, because 7 to the power 7, I don't know. I know only 7 to the power 4. So when it comes to 0.7 to the power 7, I'll get 0.08235543 into 0.3 to the power 8 minus 7 is 1. So you just need to find this value. So this value will be what? This value will be into 8 into 8 into 0.3. You'll get 0.1976532. Correct?
कितने डेसिमल तक हम लोग को लिखना होगा?
नहीं, तो सिर्फ धान्य को डराने के लिए लिखा आपको. Here this I just here this question is
given the question only. For example, you would have seen हम लोगों के like in the stats paper they wrote 3 significant figures, so you have to.
They did.
Yeah, and if they're not mentioned, you can write till how much ever you want.
So otherwise, see, in the question they ask, use till 3 significant decimal. So if they're telling you to use till 3 significant decimal, then make sure you use till 4, and then at the end you see, like, do you need to do round off or not. जब तक अगर 3 पूछा है तो 4 तक आप करते जाओ, और आखिरी में देख लेना कि जो 4th डिजिट 5 है या 5 से ज्यादा है. अगर 5 या 5 से ज्यादा है तो 3rd डिजिट में +1 कर देना. अगर नहीं है तो आप जो डिजिट वही आप रहने देना. आई बिलीव आप लोगों को सब पता है. तो अगर अब P8 का वैल्यू निकालना है मुझे, P8, तो देन इट वुड बी 8C8 0.7 to the power 8 and 0.3 to the power 0. करेक्ट? आफरीन आ रहा है आपको समझ में?
हाँ भैया आ रहा है अच्छे से.
तो 8C8 क्या होता है धानवी?
1.
8C8 मतलब ये सब याद रखो आप लोग. NC0 या NCN इज इक्वल टू 1 होता है. तो ये 1 हो जाएगा. 0.7 टू द पावर 8. आप चुपचाप कैलकुलेटर को यूज करके 0.7 टू द पावर 8 की वैल्यू निकाल लो. दैट इज 0.057648 ये तो 0.3 टू द पावर 0 1 ही होगा। तो ये आ गया आपका P8। मुझे क्या चाहिए था, मुझे चाहिए था ये P7 प्लस P8। तो P7 प्लस P8 मुझे चाहिए। सो तो P7 प्लस P8 दैट इज नथिंग बट 0.1976 plus 0.0576. You will add this, you will get the answer. This plus 0.197
0.2552
0.255 फिर 2 है तो मुझे 3 डिजिट तक निकालना है। तो इसके बाद वाला डिजिट 2 है तो आई कीप इट 0.255। क्लियर है?
हाँ भैया।
तो बहुत इजी है। दिस चैप्टर इज एक्चुअली वेरी इजी। यू डोंट हैव टू डू मच when you are trying to solve the question. These things only will keep in your mind while solving the question. Okay, so now coming back to this, ये आप याद रखना। if you see this prerequisite question, जो भी knowledge का question होता है, make sure you do this. तो question ऐसा है कि calculate the expectation of fixed number of repeated independent trial given the probability that a particular event occurs. पहला question, 2 ordinary fair dice are rolled 378 times. How many times can you expect the sum of the two number rolled to be greater than 8? तो आप लोग ये एक शॉर्टकट फॉर्मूला याद रख लो। डाइस आप जानते हो ना, इन द whenever you roll the dice, the total outcome you will get is 6. If you roll one dice, the total outcome will be 6. If you roll 2 dice, total outcome will be 36. If you roll 3 dice, total outcome 216. तो डाइस में टोटल आउटकम का जो फॉर्मूला होता है डाइस का, दैट इज ऑलवेज 6 टू द पावर n होता है ना। तो अगर एक डाइस है, 1 डाइस है, तो आपका टोटल आउटकम 6 होगा। 2 डाइस है तो टोटल आउटकम 6 स्क्वायर 36 होगा। 3 डाइस है तो आपका टोटल आउटकम 216 होगा। 4 डाइस है तो टोटल आउटकम 6 टू द पावर 4 1296 होगा, है ना। यू शुड कीप दिस इन योर माइंड, द टोटल नंबर ऑफ आउटकम इन द केस ऑफ डाइस। ठीक है, रिमेंबर दिस दैट 2 डाइस है, अगर सम ऑन 2 डाइस इज गिवन, sum on 2 dice problem, if you want sum on 2 dice, so remember the same thing I told to Dhanvi also. आप ऐसा करके याद कर लो अब करके। 2 डाइस है
by 2 है।
अगर, हाँ, तो अगर आप 2 डाइस है, अगर आप उसको रोल कर रहे हो तो मिनिमम सम कितना आएगा आफरीन आपका? आफरीन आपको समझ में आ रहा है डाइस क्या बात?
हाँ, डाइस का समझ में आ रहा है।
हाँ हाँ, तो ये डाइस है, उसका मिनिमम सम 2 होगा, मैक्सिमम सम कितना होगा?
मिनिमम क्या मतलब मैक्सिमम होगा तो हाँ हाँ
मैक्सिमम 12 होगा। 12 कब
हाँ
होगा?
हाँ
6,6।
हाँ
कब होगा?
6
1,1।
1,1
तो 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, यही आउटकम्स हो सकते हैं अगर 2 डाइस है ना। तो अगर आप 2 डाइस को रोल करोगे तो आपका सम जो आएगा मिनिमम 2 आएगा या मैक्सिमम 12 तक आएगा। अब अगर मैं आपसे ये क्वेश्चन ऐसा है कि दे आस्क यू कि इफ यू आर रोलिंग 2 डाइस, ओके, दे आर गिविंग यू द रोलिंग 2 डाइस एंड दे आस्किंग यू लाइक what is the probability that you get a sum greater than 8? greater than 8 मतलब या तो 9 आएगा या 10 आएगा या 11 आएगा या 12 आएगा। तो अब 9 कैसे आएगा? तो 9 आएगा आपका, कैसे 9 आ सकता है? 3,6 या 6,3 या 4,5 या 5,4, है ना। फिर 10 कैसे आएगा? 5,5 या 4,6 या 6,4। ऑल दैट यू कैन डू, यू नो हाउ टू डू। ग्रेटर देन 9 अगर बोल रहा है तो यू कैन डू ऑल दैट वे, यू कैन राइट सिनेरियोज लाइक दिस। और व्हाट यू कैन डू, आप एक याद कर लो, एक टेक्निक मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि अगर सम ऑन 2 डाइस प्रॉब्लम आया तो मिनिमम सम 2 होगा, मैक्सिमम सम 12 होगा, और उसके आउटकम जो होंगे वो ऐसे, दे विल फॉलो दिस पैटर्न। रिमेंबर दिस, दे विल फॉलो दिस पैटर्न। तो आपको अपना टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना है। कल को अगर एग्जाम में पूछा कि मोर देन 8 का सिनेरियो बताओ तो 9 कैसे आएगा? तो 9 कैसे आएगा? तो मैं सोच रहा हूँ भैया कैसे आ सकता है 9? अच्छा 2 के साथ आएगा? नहीं, 3 के साथ आएगा। अच्छा और क्या क्या हो सकता है? अच्छा 4,5 5,4। अच्छा अब 10 कैसे आ सकता है? 4,6 या 6,4 या 5,5 और क्या है, नहीं और क्या है कि नहीं है, 11 कैसे आ सकता है, 5,6 या 6,5, 12 कैसे आ सकता है, 6,6। मैं अपना टाइम ये सब में वेस्ट नहीं करूंगा।
तो हम लोग बस ये कर रहे हैं कि हम लोग
अगर आप
जितना कॉम्बिनेशन हो सकता है उतना निकलवा रहे हैं।
नहीं बेटा, आफरीन हम लोग क्या करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि मैं आपको अभी ये बताने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ आफरीन कि 9 ग्रेटर देन 8, अगर 2 डाइस को मैं रोल किया तो 8 से ज्यादा सम आने की पॉसिबिलिटीज क्या क्या है। तो पॉसिबिलिटी ये है कि आपका सम 9 आ सकता
ओ
है,
पॉसिबिलिटी,
या
अच्छा कितने
10 आ
कॉम्बिनेशन
सकता
आ
है।
सकते हैं।
हाँ, 9 आ
हाँ
सकता है या 10 आ सकता है या 11 आ सकता है या 12 आ सकता है।
हाँ
और उनके वो क्या कैसे आ सकते हैं वो मैंने आपको लिख के बताया,
हाँ
ये
उस वो
मैंने आपको लिख के
हाँ
बताया। लेकिन कल को अगर आपके पास टाइम नहीं है कि आप ये सब लिख सको, फिर आप ऐसे निकाल लो, अच्छा 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, ये ना करके अगर आप चाहते तो आप ये भी तो कर सकते थे। दिस इज व्हाट आई वाज ट्राइंग टू टीच यू, यू सिंपली ऐड देम। आई टोल्ड यू नो, सो आई टोल्ड यू ग्रेटर देन ग्रेटर देन 8, 9 आने की पॉसिबिलिटीज क्या है, 4 टाइम्स, 4 फेवरेबल
हाँ
केस, 10 की 3, 11 का 2, 12 का 1, इनका ऐड कर दो। व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला ऑफ सम ऑफ एन नेचुरल नंबर, n इंटू एन प्लस 1/2। यहाँ पे n क्या आपका 4 है, 1 से लेकर 4 तक का सम करना हो तो क्या करूंगा, 4 प्लस 5/2, वैल्यू आएगा 10, या 1 प्लस 2 प्लस 3 प्लस 4 आएगा 10, तो आ गया आपका 10। तो अगर आप 2 डाइस को रोल करोगे, व्हाट इज द प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट यू विल गेट इज सम ग्रेटर देन 8, दैट वुड बी 10/36 या 5/18। ये समझ में आ रहा है आपको?
हाँ भैया।
एक बार आपको आ गया, धानवी आपको आ रहा है ना, धानवी, you know this, right? So
Yeah.
once you get this probability 5/18, they what they're asking you, they're asking you that if you roll the dice 378 times, so if you roll the dice 378 times, what is the how many times you expect the sum to be greater than 8. So if you want the expected value, this is a formula, n into p. The formula n is 378, n is 378 or 378 into 5/18. 18 twos are 36, 18 ones are 18. You'll get the value 105. That is the answer. These things is there in probability. ये formula या variance का formula, variance अभी मैंने आपको बताया, variance का formula is sum of p x square minus sum of x into p का whole square. This is a formula of variance. When we'll do probability, that time I'll show you this. Clear है ये?
हाँ
हाँ
Nanvi,
भैया।
so then next thing, given a plus b का whole cube का formula आपको पता ही है. So you know this is the formula. This is very easy. A plus b का whole cube is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. Ranvi, tell me the formula of a plus b to the power 4.
A power 4. I don't know. A power 4 plus B power 4. मुझे नहीं पता.
पास्कल ट्रायंगल से पढ़ा है ना आप लोगों ने?
पास्कल, हाँ
पढ़ा है.
पास्कल ट्रायंगल का जो नंबर को बीच में
I
आगे
know.
में डालना है ना,
हाँ.
यू नो ब्रो, यू नो दिस।
1
मैं
3
बोलूं
बोलिए आप.
14461. Okay,
146,
14641.
yeah.
So a to the power 4 plus 4a cube b. आप a का पावर एक कम करते जाओ, b का बढ़ाते जाओ. 6a square b square plus 4ab cube plus b to the power 4. अगर मैंने आपसे पूछा a minus b to the power 5, आफरीन अब इसका बताओ आप.
माइनस में है तो अच्छा ठीक है। सबसे पहले ऑब्वियसली ए टू द पावर 5 है ना, फिर उसके बाद माइनस, नहीं मुझे नहीं पता, माइनस बी।
हमेशा याद रखना प्लस माइनस करते हैं, प्लस
अच्छा
माइनस प्लस माइनस प्लस माइनस, यही करते जाना.
ESW माइनस देते हैं। अच्छा
हाँ, पास्कल ट्राइंगल धानवी आप लोग निकालोगे
5 10 10 1 5
5।
1
हाँ,
आप बस आप इसको लिखते
ये
जाओ।
रट्टा मारना है क्या पास्कल ट्रायंगल को हम लोग को एग्जाम के लिए, या फिर देंगे नहीं?
देखो एक तो आप ये देंगे नहीं आपको, मुझे नहीं पता कैम्ब्रिज वाले क्या करते हैं, दिस इज वेरी
No,
इजी
I don't
थिंग,
I don't
दे
think
विल
that.
गिव यू एन ऑल,
They're not gonna give us the triangle.
दे आर
No,
नॉट
why
गोइंग,
will they
इट इज
give you the
वेरी
Pascal
इजी,
triangle?
इट्स वेरी
Oh,
इजी
अच्छा
नो,
तब ठीक है।
यू
हाँ,
कैन मेक इट,
ट्रायंगल दे देंगे तो सब ठीक हो जाएगा।
नहीं नहीं यू डोंट नीड दिस ट्राइंगल ना, यू जस्ट नीड टू राइट वन, देन राइट वन वन,
उसके बाद ऐड करते जाओ।
then 1, then you write 1, this 1, 1 plus 1 2, then 1, then you write 1, then 2 plus 1 3, 2 plus 1 3, then 1, then add,
It's
write
easy
1,
when you do
3
series,
plus 1
right?
4
First exercise is
6,
this only. So when you do it, you will get you will like mug up हो जाएगा.
you just write it
अच्छा
down, like then you keep adding, see this what I'm doing, मुझे को याद तो ही था, I just did wrote in front of you, 1 plus 4 5, 6 plus 4 10, 6 plus 4 10, 4 plus 1 5, फिर then 1 1, 1 plus 5 6 6 15, then this is 20, then this is 15, then 6, then 1, always remember the sum is 2 to the power n, जानवी पता है आपको ये, this sum,
No.
just see the sum, this comes in good exam question, if you count the sum it always follow this pattern, see the sum, do the sum of this, it will always follow this pattern. Anyway, coming back to this, if I'm asking you a minus b to the power 5, so you write a to the power 5, put minus sign, फिर 5 5 a का पावर एक कम करो और b का पावर एक बढ़ा दो, फिर लिखो 10, 5 के बाद क्या आया, उसके बाद आया 10, 10 में प्लस साइन, 10 a to the power 3 b स्क्वायर, फिर माइनस a स्क्वायर b क्यूब, फिर प्लस साइन, b प्लस साइन, फिर क्या आएगा आपका 1 2 3 4 5 आ गया, उसके बाद आएगा ये आ गया 5 10, फिर 10
B
5
बराबर
10, फिर 10, फिर 5 a b to the power 4, फिर माइनस b to the प्लस माइनस, या तो आप इसको ऐसे भी ले सकते थे, you could have done this way also, a minus b to the power 5, that is 5c0.
अच्छा, अगर A में माइनस है और B पॉजिटिव है तो माइनस प्लस माइनस प्लस माइनस हुआ ना?
वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन यू आस्क मी, सो इफ माइनस a प्लस b टू द पावर 6 सपोज, ठीक है, तो आपको क्या समझना, आप यहाँ पे ध्यान दिए होगे, तो यहाँ पे मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, मैं माइनस कहाँ लगा रहा हूँ ना, यहाँ पे b का पावर ऑड है, अब ध्यान से देखो, जहां जहां माइनस है, जहां जहां माइनस है, मैं माइनस कब लगाया, जब b का पावर ऑड हो, तो यहाँ पे भी आप माइनस कब कब लगाओगे, आप समझो इसको कैसे लिखेंगे हम लोग, आप इसको ऐसे लिखो, ये तो आपको दिख रहा होगा, यही फॉलो करना आपको पता है, तो अब लिखो 1 लिखो, माइनस a टू द पावर 6 लिखो, और b टू द पावर 0 लिखो, फिर आप प्लस, चुपचाप प्लस लगाते जाओ, फिर 6 लिखो, माइनस a टू द पावर 5 लिखो, b टू द पावर 1 लिखो, फिर लिखो आप, फिर 15, फिर माइनस a टू द पावर 4 लिखो, फिर b स्क्वायर, फिर प्लस, फिर 15 के बाद क्या है 20, 15 के बाद क्या है 20, माइनस a टू द पावर 3 b क्यूब, फिर क्या है, फिर है 15 माइनस a टू द पावर 2 b टू द पावर 4, 1 मिनट, हाँ, now 15 a minus a square b to the power 4 प्लस, फिर लिखो 6 माइनस a टू द पावर 1 b टू द पावर 5, एंड then plus 1 minus a to the power 0 5 b to the power 6, ये समझ में आया आपको, अभी मैं सॉल्व नहीं किया, आई डिड नॉट गेट द आंसर, तो माइनस ए प्लस बी टू द पावर 6. अब देखो आपको पता है ना, -1 टू द पावर इवन इज +1, -1 टू द पावर ऑड इज -1. करेक्ट.
Yes.
सो अगर -a टू द पावर 6 हो तो क्या होगा, a टू द पावर 6. तो जहां जहां a का पावर, wherever you find -a to the power odd number, you just put minus sign. This will be -6a to the power 5. This will be plus 15a to the power 4 b square minus 20 a cube b cube, then plus 15 a square b to the power 4 minus 6 a b to the power 5, then plus b to the power 6. This is the answer. Nanvi, Afreen, have you understood this? Ultimately, when I ask, what is a minus b to the power 5, so in my mind I was doing like this: a plus minus b to the power 5. So for me, I was not looking at this minus sign. For me, it was like plus, then in bracket minus. So whenever this power was minus, or whenever the power was odd for minus, then I put minus sign. Whenever the power was even, I use plus sign. Other way, if you notice, it's always plus minus plus minus plus minus. So we don't have to do that much hard work. यही इसके जगह, if I would have asked you minus a plus b to the power 5, then the scenario would be quite reversed in case of sign. Clear?
Clear, भैया.
Nanvi, clear? So now the reason why I was trying to do this, because I wanted to tell that a plus b to the power whole cube is nothing but you should follow this formula, because we are studying binomial distribution. A plus b to the power n is nc0, a to the power n, b to the power 0, nc1, a to the power n minus 1, b to the power 1, plus nc2, a to the power n minus 2, b to the power 2, like this, n a to the power 0, b to the power n. We are supposed to use this formula. So when I'm writing a plus b to the power 3, we should write 3c0, a to the power 3, b to the power 0, plus 3c1, a to the power 2, b to the power 1, plus 3c2, a to the power 1, b to the power 2, plus 3c3, a to the power 0, b to the power 3. So a plus b to the power 3, 3c0 क्या होता है, 1 होता है, b to the power 0 1 होता है, a cube is a cube, 3c1 is 3, a square b plus 3c2 क्या होता है, 3c2 मतलब 3, 3c1 3c2 एक ही बात है, a b square plus 3c3 क्या होता है, 1 होता है, b cube. This should be our way. When we are like, no, there's a saying, no, in English, when you are in Rome, you act like a Romans. Like the same way, when you are studying binomial distribution, you should solve like this way. We should not do like Pascal triangle. We should do like this way. It look much more logical in context of binomial distribution when you are studying binomial distribution. So they are telling, using this, tell the formula of this: 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4. So 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 whole cube. So this would be 1 by 4 whole cube plus 3 1 by 4 whole square 3 to the power 4 plus 3 1 by 4 3 by 4 whole square plus 3 by 4 whole cube. 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 whole cube. This is 1 by 64. 4 का क्यूब 64 होता है, 4 का स्क्वायर क्या होता है, 16 इंटू 3 by 4 प्लस 3 by 4 इंटू 9 by 16, 3 square 9, 4 square 16, 3 cube 27 by 4 cube 64. You can write 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 whole cube, that is 1 by 64 plus 9 by 64 plus 27 by 64 plus 27 by 64. आप एलसीएम निकाल लो, 27 प्लस 27 क्या होता है 54, 54 प्लस 10 क्या होता है 64 by 64 मतलब 1. Clear?
हाँ भैया पूरा क्लियर.
So you find the first. धानवी, यार है धानवी आपको समझ में?
हाँ.
तो हम लोग को फ्रैक्शन फंक्शन निकालने की जरूरत ही नहीं था. अगर हम if we do by calculator and all, we end up in using finding fraction and all. Otherwise, if we do in the fraction form, we don't have to do anything. So simply by LCM, we could able to do it. Otherwise, imagine if you would have done by using calculator, decimal form and all, then we need to know what is 1 by 64. We'll get some decimal value, we'll multiply with 3 like that and all. So unnecessary, जब तक जरूरत ना पड़े, avoid using calculator and all. You can do it very fast. अन्वी कोई डाउट? आफरीन कोई डाउट?
नहीं भैया नहीं.
अमित भैया के कौन से टाइम पे आ रहे हो?
Sorry.
Oh, you're putting on YouTube.
Yes. So now you see this regular pentagonal spinner. If you see, find the probability that the 10 spin produces exactly 3A. So Afreen, Dhanvi, आप लोग देखो, you have this pentagonal spinner, okay, and you can see the total number of spin. The total 10 spins are there, okay, and that they're asking you that what is the probability that you will get exactly 3A. If you observe, you can observe 5, right? You can observe, because it's a pentagon, so total number of scenario what you can see. If you imagine you're seeing at the top, from the top, then you can see 5 faces of this pentagon. So in this 5 faces, out of 5 face, 2 face, can you see A?
Yes.
Manvi, out of 5 faces, you can see 2 face A. Okay, so now you have total 5 faces. If 2 faces are A, so probability that you will get a, that would be 2 by 5.
Yeah.
Danvi, Afreen, you guys are getting it right. So
Yes.
total 5 faces you can see. Okay, total 5 faces are there, and so the probability you get, like maybe A, B, C, D, E. So the probability you'll get one face would be 1 by 5. But here, if you see A came twice. So the probability that you'll get face A, that will be 2 by 5. 2 by 5 means 0.4. Probability that you don't get A is 0.6. 1 minus 0.4 means 0.6. Correct? Danvi, Afreen.
Yes.
Afreen, are
एक
you
मिनट
getting it?
हाँ एक मिनट बट एक और बार बोलो तो ये 0.4 कहाँ से आया वापस?
हाँ
ये
देखो
जबकि
बेटा,
3 है ना?
दानी नहीं
बोले,
बेटा, आफरीन देखो आप कि देयर टोटल 5 फेस you can see, A, B, C, D, E. 5 faces are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
हाँ.
So imagine if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be there, then probability to get any face would be 1 by 5. But here, if you see, here you have 2A, 1B, 1C, 1D.
हाँ.
Out of 5 face, you have 2 face
Oh.
with A.
जी जी.
So out of 5 face, if you have 2 face with A, so the probability that you will get a face A, that will be 2 by 5. 2 by 5 means 0.4.
हाँ.
And probability that you won't get A will be 1 minus 0.4, means
Yes.
0.6. So once you get the probability P, matlab P is 0.4 and Q is 0.6. Okay, then the N is 10. So if N is 10 and they are asking you what is the probability, you will get exactly 3A. Means your N is 10, your R is 3. n is 10 and your r is 3. Your n is 10. Your n is 10 and your r is 3. Your p is 0.4. Your q will be 0.6. So what is your probability? Probability will be 10c3, 0.4 to the power 3, 0.6 to the power 7. So p, this 10c3 क्या होता है? 10 into 9 into 8 by 6. मतलब if I'm not wrong, it is 120. 9 into 9 by 8 by 6 क्या होगा? 72 by 6. 12 होता है ना, 120 या 120 into 0.4 to the power 3 क्या होगा? 0.064. And then you find 0.6 to the power 7. 0.6 to the power 7. So 0.6 to the power 7 is 0.020279936 into 0.064 into 120 into 120. So you'll get probability as 0.215. Correct?
Yeah.
हाँ भैया.
So like this will, all the questions whatever we'll get, we'll solve by using this only. Second one we did. Third one, you try. Dhanvi, Afrin, please try both of you the third one.
Okay.
अच्छा, हम लोग जब कैलकुलेटर में डालेंगे तो एचसीआर करके ना डालना होगा
NCR अगर आपके पास वो
ना.
हाई एंड वाला
40
कैलकुलेटर है,
C39, राइट?
हाँ, if you have that calculator, Afrin, then well and good. Otherwise, Afrin, 40C39 is 40 only. Afrin.
अच्छा, ठीक.
40C39 is 40C1, मतलब 40. नहीं तो अगर आपके पास वो वाला कैलकुलेटर है, आई थिंक धानवी है बॉट रिसेंटली दैट कैलकुलेटर.
हाँ, वो ए लेवल वाला कैलकुलेटर, उसमें
Yeah.
बजाफ्ते हाँ इसके लिए बना.
So you just put, you'll get 40C40 will be 1 only.
वाइट वाला. सही.
Fine.
भैया
So,
अपना यूट्यूब चैनल का लिंक भेज देना मुझे.
हाँ हाँ मैं आपको भेज दूंगा. ये this is the best question guys from this chapter. Can you try this question without looking at?
किया हुआ है मैंने.
आपने किया हुआ है. Let Afrin to try. I think this is the best question. Hanvi, can you give some idea to Afrin how we can do this question?
First you use the same method and then you apply log on both sides.
Why we apply log on both sides, Hanvi?
लॉग, यहाँ पर लॉग क्यों?
The log thing.
I'll
क्या
tell you.
लॉग वो क्या होता है? Bro, I've never learned log.
Because there is an inequality symbol. Like
हाँ हाँ.
there's less than symbol.
Wait, let me do this, then we'll understand. कि यहाँ पे n is unknown ना. In this question, n is unknown. P is given as 0.4. So if P is given as 0.4, then Q will be 0.6. ठीक है, what they're telling, you have to find P probability that x is 0, x equal to 0. Can you see that? We need to use the probability that our x is equal to 0. Okay, and this value should be less than 0.1. ये जो probability का value you will get to P x is equal to 0, this value what you are getting, this value is less than 0.1. And this is given to us. This is a situation which is given to us, and under this situation what is the least possible value of n, वही हम लोग को निकालना है. तो हमको पता है what is the probability of px का probability क्या होता है, ncx p to the power x q to the power n minus x होता है ना. हमको ये पता है. तो p0 का probability क्या होगा, nc0 0.4 to the power 0, 0.4 to the power 0 into 0.6 to the power n. Correct है. And we have seen so probability of 0, nc0 क्या होता है, 1 होता है. 0.4 to the power 0 क्या होगा, 1 होगा. तो इसका आंसर एक्चुअली this probability of p equal to 0 is 0.6 to the power n. ये आपको समझ आ रहा है, you will get this. Now this value should be less than 0.1. इतना समझ में आया आपको?
हाँ, ये तो आ गया, पर लॉग कहाँ यूज करा?
हाँ, मैं अभी बताता हूँ लॉग का रेलिवेंस क्या है. लॉग, जॉन नेफियर ने लॉग निकाला क्यों था, ताकि कोई भी अननोन वैल्यू को निकाला जा सके जो पावर में हो. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि 2 प्लस एक्स इक्वल टू 3, एक्स का क्या वैल्यू आपको पता है, 2 माइनस एक्स इक्वल टू 3, एक्स का वैल्यू क्या आपको पता है, 2x इक्वल टू 3, यू नो व्हाट इज x, 2 डिवाइड बाय x इक्वल टू 3, यू नो व्हाट इज x. प्रॉब्लम होता है अगर मैं आपसे पूछूंगा 2 टू द पावर x इक्वल टू 3, अब x क्या है अगर मैं आपसे पूछूंगा, तो देन इट वुड बी प्रॉब्लम फॉर यू. The only way, one way how you can find the x in this case, you have to use trial and error method. The other thing what we can use is log. Log क्यों use कर सकते हैं? The property of log is that if you multiply log with both numerator, both side, both LHS and RHS, so log 2 to the power x equal to log 3. This is a property of log, that log a to the power x अगर हो, this is nothing but this is x log 2 equal to log 3. Then your value of x will be log 3 by log 2. ये log की प्रॉपर्टी है, ये आपने बचपन में पढ़ा होगा 9th में, कि why we use log to find the value of unknown if that unknown is in power. कोई भी अननोन चीज अगर पावर में हो तो एक ही तरीका अपने पास सॉल्व करने का, हमको लॉग यूज करना पड़ता है. तो इसलिए यहाँ पे भी हमने लॉग यूज किया. और if we multiply log with both sides, we will get n log 0.6 lesser than n log 0.1. तो आपका n का वैल्यू क्या होगा, n is less than log 0.1 by log 0.6. अगर अब आप n की वैल्यू निकालने की कोशिश करो, n is less than log 0.1 क्या होता है, what is log 0.1? log 0.1 होगा, log 1 होता है आपका 0, so 10 to the power minus 1 होगा if I'm not wrong. So the log 0.1 will be minus 1. Yeah, so then log,
कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं लॉग को? लॉग को कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं?
मैं आपको आराम से लॉग पढ़ाऊंगा एक बार. यहाँ पे
हाँ.
लॉग के ये लॉग का बेस 10 है. यहाँ जब भी बेस नहीं लिखते हम लोग वहाँ पे, नहीं तो हमें उसकी वैल्यू निकलती है, नहीं तो हमको एक लॉग टेबल चाहिए. we'll use a log table. So if we have a log table, we can do it very easily. You just need to type, go to Google and you ask for logarithmic table. And when you have this table, so in this table, you need to see this value. So this value, what we get, we'll get only Mantisa part, decimal part. Then we need to find Crestactic part. There's other way to do it. So that will take little bit time. So for the time being, you just understand this. This is log 0.1. This is log this is log.
वो तो एग्जाम में फॉर्मूला बुकलेट में दिया हुआ है लॉग टेबल.
Yeah, so you just need to divide it. So if you divide it, you will get 4.5075. 4.5075. This is
even if you don't want to use the log table, you can use the calculator.
You guys have that powerful calculator, so you don't have to struggle so much. So this is, so what is the minimum value of this? So n, what is the minimum value of n? So n is less than this. So
5.
what is the least value of n? The n will be equal to 4.
5 now.
Q5, n value is less than 4 na.
Should we not round off?
Find the least possible value of n. They have rounded off, is it? Okay, they have rounded off 4.525 and then they're telling 5 is the least possible value. Clear है ये? आफरीन आपको clear है?
हाँ.
हाँ भैया हो गया.
Okay, so what I'll suggest you people that you start this exercise 7a. So how to do these questions? Okay, so here if you notice in this question, n is given as 4, p is given 0.2, so q will be 0.8 and you have to take x equal to 4. You can do it, right? Wait, I'll show you an example how to do this, because these are very easy things. So here n is 4, p is 0.2. I'm asking x equal to 4. So x equal to 4 means what is the formula? This is NCR p to the power r q to the power n minus r. अगर मैं पूछ रहा हूँ 4 तो ये हो जाएगा 4c4 0.2 to the power 4 into 0.8 to the power 0. तो इसकी वैल्यू निकाल लो तो ये हो जाएगा, इसकी वैल्यू हो जाएगी 1. 0.2 to the power 4. 0.2 to the power 4 क्या होता है? 2 to the power 4 16 होता है. 0.001. अगर मैं आपसे पूछा p x इक्वल टू 0, x इक्वल टू 0 मतलब 4c0 0.2 to the power 0 0.8 to the power 4. 4c0 1 होता है, 0.8 to the power 4 निकालो, दैट इज योर आंसर. क्लियर है ये? धानवी, आफरीन?
हाँ भैया.
धानवी क्लियर है आपको?
हाँ.
So like this, you try to solve this question, the 7a, at least till 4th, if you can do, because from 5th you have word problem. At least try to finish till 4th today. So tomorrow when we'll meet, we'll start from 5th one and we'll see if you have any doubt.
जी भैया.
Dhanvi, any
अभी
question?
करना है?
आप कर लेना, you'll do this.
हाँ.
We'll meet tomorrow. And we'll discuss if you have any doubt from 1 to 4, and we'll go ahead from 5th one. If you people have no doubt till 4th one, tomorrow then we'll start from 5th one. Dhanvi,
हाँ.
any question?
मैथ्स में डाउट है.
हाँ पूछो.
वेट.
Then I'll stop this recording for this statistics. Okay, and we'll discuss the math down.
Page 175.